Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something when it comes to relationships. Everybody wants that fairy tale ending. We all want to look over at somebody and know without a doubt, this is my person, this is my forever. But forever don't just happen by accident. Forever comes with signs. You can see them. You can feel them. You can know deep down that you've got something worth holding on to. So tonight, I want to give you 6 signs that your relationship has the strength to last forever. When you look at the foundation of any relationship that's built to last, the first and most powerful thing is trust. Without it, you don't have much more than a situation, not a true partnership. Trust is what makes 2 people feel safe enough to let down their guard, to stop pretending, and to be real. When you trust somebody, you're saying, I believe in you, I believe in us, and I believe you won't do me wrong. That's not something you can buy. That's not something you can fake. It's something you build day after day through consistency, honesty, and dependability. When you've got that kind of bond, it feels like you can breathe easier. You don't have to check their phone. You don't have to scroll through their social media at midnight. You don't have to interrogate them every time they come home late. Instead, you rest easy because you know their heart belongs to you. Now, trust doesn't mean you never feel insecure. We're human. Everybody has moments where doubts creep in. But in a relationship that's built to last, those moments don't control you. Why? Because your partner has given you reason after reason to believe in them. They do what they say they'll do. They show up when they're supposed to. They don't play games with your mind, and they don't let temptation ruin something real. You see, trust is not about perfection. It's about intention. If you can look at the person beside you and know their intention is to love you, protect you, and be true to you, that's when you know you've got the real thing. A lot of relationships fall apart because people try to build love without building trust first. That's like building a house without a foundation. It might look pretty for a while, but eventually it's going to crack. You can't build forever on suspicion, jealousy, and secrets. You can't expect loyalty if you're constantly lying or hiding. What lasts is when both people make a decision to live in truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. If something's bothering you, you don't sweep it under the rug, you talk about it. If you've made a mistake, you don't cover it up, you confess it and work to rebuild what was broken. Trust can be fragile, but it can also be one of the strongest forces if both people are committed to protecting it. And here's the thing about trust. It's not just about fidelity. It's about believing your partner has your back in every way. Do you trust them with your dreams? Do you trust them with your fears? Do you trust them to handle your vulnerability with care? That's deep. A relationship that will last forever is one where both people feel like they can be their most authentic self without fear of judgment. When you can cry in front of them, when you can laugh until your stomach hurts, when you can tell them the parts of your story you've never told anyone and they look at you with love instead of judgment, that's real trust. That's forever kind of love. When trust is present, it frees you up to love fully. You don't waste energy doubting or controlling. You don't live in fear of betrayal. You live in confidence of connection. And that confidence allows love to grow deeper. Because the more secure you feel, the more you can pour into each other. That's when love becomes powerful. Not because it's perfect, but because it's safe. Safety is love's soil, and trust is the root. If you're standing on that, storms can come, winds can blow, but you're not going anywhere. That's when you know your relationship has the kind of strength to last a lifetime. When it comes to relationships, a lot of people believe the absence of arguments means they found the right one. But the truth is, no 2 people can come together, live life side by side, and not bump heads from time to time. Arguments are not the problem. It's the way you argue that tells you whether your relationship has the strength to last forever. Couples that make it through the storms know how to disagree without tearing each other down. They don't let anger become a weapon. Instead, they use conflict as a tool to grow closer and understand each other better. Fighting fair is one of the clearest signs that your love has endurance. Fighting fair starts with respect. When two people argue, emotions rise, tempers flare. And it's easy to forget that the person across from you isn't your enemy. But if you've got a relationship that's going to last, you don't cross certain lines, no matter how heated the conversation gets. You don't call names, you don't belittle, and you don't drag up old wounds just to score a point. Instead, you focus on the issue at hand. You can say, "This upset me," or "I need you to hear me," without attacking their character. That's how you argue like partners, not opponents. One of the mistakes couples make is fighting to win instead of fighting to understand. If you're in a lasting relationship, you realize that when one of you loses, both of you lose. The goal isn't to prove who's right. The goal is to come out stronger together. That means listening even when you don't agree. That means pausing to breathe instead of exploding in anger. That means looking at your partner not as someone you need to defeat, but as someone you need to work with. Love that lasts understands that unity matters more than victory. And here's another thing. Timing matters. Not every argument needs to happen right in the middle of the heat. Sometimes loving couples step back, calm down, and return to the conversation when they're ready to handle it with care. That's maturity. That's discipline. Because in relationships that go the distance, it's not about how fast you resolve it. It's about how respectfully you resolve it. And when you both choose patience over pride, you build a stronger bond. Fighting fair also means you're willing to admit when you're wrong. A lasting relationship is built on humility as much as it is on love. If you mess up, you don't hide it or justify it. You own it. You say, "I'm sorry." You mean it, and then you work to do better. Couples who last don't let their ego get in the way of reconciliation. They value the relationship more than the argument. They understand that an apology doesn't make you weak. It makes the love stronger. Another key part of fighting fair is forgiveness. You can't carry grudges in a forever relationship. If every disagreement ends with stored resentment, that relationship will crumble under the weight of bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean you forget, but it means you choose to move forward instead of living in the past. Couples who last forever don't weaponize old mistakes every time something new comes up. They choose to heal, let go, and keep building. And don't miss this after the argument. Lasting couples reconnect. They don't let silence linger for days. They talk it through. They hug, they laugh. They remind each other of the love that's bigger than the disagreement. That ability to come back together after conflict is what keeps the bond unbreakable. Love that lasts forever isn't love without conflict. It's love that can survive conflict. And when you learn how to fight fair, you're not just keeping peace in the moment. You're proving that your relationship is built to stand the test of time. When two people come together and decide to build a life, love may bring them close, but values are what hold them together. Feelings are powerful, but they rise and fall with seasons. Values are deeper. They shape how you see the world, how you make decisions, how you treat others, and how you want your future to look. When your values align with your partner's, you've got a foundation that can stand strong for decades. But when your values clash, it doesn't matter how much chemistry you share, the relationship will feel like two people walking in opposite directions. Shared values show up in everyday life. If both of you value honesty, you won't have to question whether your partner is telling you the truth. You won't be second guessing their words because you know honesty is as important to them as it is to you. If you both value family, then holidays, children, and time with loved ones become moments of connection instead of conflict. If you both value faith or loyalty or hard work, then the decisions you make individually still push you forward together. That's why values matter. They keep two people moving in sync. The problem comes when couples try to ignore value differences because the love feels good in the moment. Maybe one person values commitment and the other values freedom. Maybe one values financial responsibility and the other spends recklessly. Maybe one values growth and the other prefers comfort and complacency. Those things may seem small at first, but over time they create cracks that love alone can't fix. Love without shared values is like planting a flower in sand. It might bloom for a while, but it won't survive long term. Now, having the same values doesn't mean you have to agree on everything or be identical in every way. It simply means the core of who you are matches the core of who they are. If both of you believe in respect, then no matter how heated an argument gets, respect keeps you from crossing lines. If both of you believe in sacrifice, then when tough times come, you'll each give instead of taking. If both of you believe in faithfulness, then even when temptation knocks, you'll shut the door together. Shared values give you a compass. They keep you grounded when life tries to pull you in different directions. Another beautiful thing about shared values is that they make goals easier to achieve. If you value growth and your partner does too, you'll cheer each other on. If you value building wealth and stability, you'll both put in the work to save, invest, and plan. If you value kindness, then together you'll create an environment of love, not just for yourselves, but for the people around you. Lasting couples don't just fall in love with who someone is, they fall in love with what someone believes in, because those beliefs shape the life you'll build together. And when challenges come, as they always do, shared values are what keep you standing. When bills pile up, when sickness comes, when disappointment hits, love might get shaken, but values remind you what you promised each other. You don't walk away because you value commitment. You don't betray because you value loyalty. You don't give up because you value perseverance. Love may spark the fire, but values keep it burning when the winds of life try to blow it out. At the end of the day, chemistry brings two people together, but shared values are the glue that keeps them together forever. They provide direction, stability, and unity. When you and your partner believe in the same foundation, every decision, every sacrifice, and every dream feels like you're moving as one. That's when you know your relationship is not just built for today, it's built for forever. One of the most powerful things you can ever experience in a relationship is having a partner who not only accepts your growth, but celebrates it. Too many people end up in relationships where progress feels like a threat, where one person feels insecure if the other starts doing better, or where dreams get put on hold to keep the other comfortable. That kind of love doesn't last because it's rooted in fear and competition instead of support. A relationship that's built to stand the test of time is one where both people see each other's growth as a victory, not a problem. When you can clap for each other, push each other forward, and genuinely feel proud of the other person's success, that's when you know you've got something rare. Celebrating each other's growth starts with security. If your partner gets a promotion, graduates from school, or starts a new business, you don't feel jealous or left behind, you feel inspired. Their win feels like your win because you're on the same team. Couples who last forever understand that there's no scoreboard in love. You don't keep track of who's ahead. You keep building so that both of you rise. It's not me versus you. It's against the world. That shift in mindset is what makes growth something you both welcome instead of something you secretly resent. Now, growth isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it looks like one person deciding to work on their health, their habits, or their emotional struggles. In a lasting relationship, your partner doesn't discourage you from becoming better. They encourage you, stand beside you, and remind you that you're capable of more. They don't say, "Why are you changing?" in a way that pulls you backward. They say, "I'm proud of you for trying." That kind of support turns personal growth into shared growth, because while one person is evolving, the other is learning how to be more patient, more encouraging, and more loving. On the flip side, when both people are growing, the relationship becomes unstoppable. Imagine two people constantly sharpening each other, challenging each other, inspiring each other to keep reaching higher. That's how you build a bond that doesn't get stale. Because the truth is, people change over time. If one person grows while the other refuses, distance forms. But if both commit to evolving, then no matter how life shifts, they stay in stride with one another. Growth doesn't pull them apart, it keeps them aligned. Another powerful thing about celebrating growth is the joy it brings to the relationship. There's a different kind of happiness that comes when your partner wins and you feel like you've won too. When they achieve a dream and you were there cheering them on, the pride is doubled. And it's not just about big milestones. Sometimes it's about small victories. Maybe your partner is working on their confidence, or breaking a bad habit, or finally pursuing a hidden talent. Couples who last don't dismiss those little steps. They celebrate them like they matter, because they do. Every bit of growth adds to the strength of the relationship. And let's be real, growth can be uncomfortable. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. It challenges your old ways. It makes you face fears. But that's why having a supportive partner is so powerful. When you're nervous, they calm you down. When you're tired, they remind you why you started. When you doubt yourself, they believe in you until you believe again. That kind of love is rare, and it's the kind that makes people stay together for life. When you have someone who celebrates your growth, you don't feel trapped in the relationship, you feel free. You know you're not being held back, you're being pushed forward. You know your dreams aren't too big for them because they're right there dreaming with you. That's the kind of energy that keeps a relationship alive, not stuck in the past, but moving into the future together. Growth becomes proof that love isn't static. It's alive, it's dynamic, and it's always getting stronger. And when you've got that, forever doesn't just feel possible. It feels inevitable. There's something powerful about laughter in a relationship. Life will test you in ways you don't always see coming. There will be bills piling up, unexpected challenges, health scares, family issues, and the weight of everyday responsibilities pressing down on you. Love alone isn't always enough to carry all of that. What helps lighten the load is joy, and joy often shows up in the form of laughter. Couples who can still laugh together, even when life is heavy, have a bond that feels unbreakable. Laughter becomes a reminder that even in the midst of struggle, you can still find light, and that light is often found in the person standing beside you. When two people can laugh together, it means they genuinely enjoy each other's presence. It's not just about being in love, it's about liking each other too. You can be attracted to someone, you can even be committed to them, but if you don't truly enjoy being around them, the relationship becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Laughter is proof that you like the person you love. It's proof that their company doesn't just feel like an obligation, it feels like joy. That joy is what keeps relationships fresh even after years together. Another beautiful thing about laughter is that it creates intimacy. When you share an inside joke, or you both start laughing at something that only makes sense to the two of you, it builds a secret language of love. Those moments of silliness or playful teasing become memories that you hold on to. And when tough times come, those little moments remind you of the bond you share. They say couples who laugh together stay together. And there's truth in that because laughter connects hearts in a way that words sometimes can't. It's not about laughing only when life is easy. In fact, the couples that last are the ones who can laugh even when life isn't going their way. When you can look at each other in the middle of a storm and still find humor, it means you haven't let life steal your joy. It means your love is strong enough to resist bitterness and stress. You may not be able to control the situation, but you can control how you face it together. That choice to keep smiling, keep joking, and keep laughing is what helps you get through the storm without letting it destroy your connection. Laughter also keeps the relationship from becoming too serious. Love is important, commitment is important, responsibility is important, but if everything becomes heavy all the time, it's easy to feel weighed down. Couples who last forever balance the serious with the lighthearted. They know when to handle business, but they also know when to be goofy, playful, and spontaneous. That balance is what keeps love alive, because at the end of the day, nobody wants a lifetime of stress. They want a lifetime of memories filled with smiles. And here's the thing, laughter is healing. It reduces stress, it softens anger, it breaks tension. A well-timed laugh can turn an argument into a moment of reconnection. A playful smile can remind your partner, hey, we're on the same team. Couples who know how to use laughter wisely don't let conflict linger. They use humor to remind each other of the love underneath it all. That doesn't mean you make a joke out of everything, but it means you don't let life rob you of your ability to find joy in each other. When you look at couples who have been together for decades, you'll often notice something. They laugh easily with each other. Their conversations are filled with smiles and jokes, even in their old age. That's not by accident, that's by choice. They chose to keep laughter a part of their love story. They chose not to let time, stress, or routine take away their ability to enjoy each other. That choice is why their relationship lasted. So when you find yourself laughing with the one you love, don't take it lightly. That laughter is more than just a moment. It's a sign that you've got joy in your relationship, and joy is the glue that keeps love alive. Couples who can laugh together aren't just surviving, they're thriving. They're not just holding on, they're building a love that can last forever. I love that lasts forever isn't created in a single big moment. It's built through a series of small choices made day after day. Too many people think a relationship is secured by saying, I do, at the altar or making one big promise early on. But forever doesn't work like that. Forever is not guaranteed by one decision. It's maintained by a million decisions that follow. Every morning you wake up and decide, I still choose you. Every night you lay down and decide again, I still want us. That daily choice is the heartbeat of a relationship that can stand the test of time. Choosing each other daily means staying committed even when it's not easy. Love feels good when everything is smooth, when money is flowing, when health is strong, when emotions are light. But the test of lasting love comes when challenges hit. There will be days when your patience is stretched, when stress feels overwhelming, when the spark seems dim. In those moments, forever couples don't rely only on feelings, they rely on choice. They say, even if I'm tired, even if today is hard, I'm not walking away, I'm still here. That decision, repeated again and again, becomes the strength of the relationship. It's also about choosing to show love in little ways. You don't just say, I love you. Once, you say it often, and you show it through actions. Maybe it's making them coffee in the morning, checking in during the day, leaving a note, offering a hug when they've had a rough time. Those aren't grand gestures, but they are daily reminders that your partner is seen, valued, and chosen. Over years, those small acts add up to something unshakable. People don't remember every big vacation or gift, but they never forget the way their partner consistently made them feel loved. Choosing each other daily also means not giving up when differences show. Every relationship has moments when personalities clash or perspectives collide. It's tempting to think, maybe I chose wrong, but lasting couples don't go down that road. They remind themselves, I chose you for a reason, and I still choose you, even when we don't agree. That choice leads them to work through problems, to compromise, and to adjust instead of running away. The daily choice to stay invested is what prevents temporary struggles from becoming permanent endings. Another part of choosing each other daily is resisting the distractions that could pull you apart. The world is full of temptations, other people, selfish pursuits, unhealthy habits. But couples who last forever make conscious decisions to guard their relationship. They choose faithfulness, loyalty, and transparency over secrecy and betrayal. They choose to protect the bond they've built instead of risking it for something temporary. That kind of discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about valuing the relationship so much that nothing else is worth losing it for. And let's not forget, choosing each other daily means choosing kindness. Over time, it's easy to get comfortable and stop treating your partner with the same tenderness you did in the beginning. But forever couples refuse to let love grow cold. They still say thank you. They still compliment each other. They still hold hands. They still look for ways to keep the connection alive. That choice to stay kind and attentive, even after years, is what separates relationships that fade from those that flourish. In the end, forever is not a magical destiny reserved for a lucky few. It's a decision made repeatedly by two people who are willing to keep choosing each other no matter what. When you both wake up every day determined to love, to forgive, to stay loyal, to keep showing up, then you've already built a love that time trials and challenges can't destroy. Forever is a daily choice. And when two people keep making that choice, there's nothing that can break them apart.